The South African government should examine the ballooning public sector wage bill for the economy to get more bang for its buck. That's according to a report by the Centre for Risk Analysis, saying the country's public sector wage bill is among the highest in the world, surpassing countries such as the United States and Japan. Business reporter Ntokozo Khumalo has the details.
South Africa's public sector wage bill as a share of GDP is one of the highest in the world. At about 721 billion rand a year, the Centre for Risk Analysis finds that only Iceland and Denmark have larger budgets for public sector salaries and wages. The Centre's executive director, Chris Hatting, says the concern is that the high wage bill is not accompanied by quality service delivery.
Where the focus has been more and more on the management and administrative side and not necessarily on those employees in the public sector who have to deliver frontline services. So are they given the necessary pay increases or other forms of compensation? Are they given the necessary levels of skills training to equip them?
Additionally, the size of the government continues to swell. The cabinet now has 32 members, up from 30. And the country now also has 43 deputy ministers, a jump from 36, complicating the government's efforts to reduce the public sector wage bill through early retirement packages and other interventions.
And it makes it more difficult when the government, for example, would want to do changes or tweaks to the public sector employment space or to salaries, to the wage bill. It makes that argument a little bit more difficult.
President Cyril Ramaphosa, giving a keynote address during his visit to the Gauteng Provincial Executive, highlighted that the district development model developed by the 6th administration remains the guiding framework for government to improve efficiency and cut costs.
It is an important instrument for helping to resolve the challenges that many of the structures of our government are facing. This model has fundamentally shaped how we operate, fostering coordination, enhancing integration, and ensuring that there is efficiency across all spheres of government. In many ways, the district development model is about how we conduct ourselves in government.
The conduct of government and how it allocates resources is a good start, according to Hatting.
It's not necessarily the case that the public services in other countries, for example, in Europe or Southeast Asia or North America, just function the best. It's more just a case of bang for your buck. So for every rand that we put in the public sector, is the service delivered? Does it justify that rand, for example? So I think that would be a good calculation to look at to try and figure out, are we getting that necessary bang for our buck?
Hatting says figures from the National Treasury reveals that compensation for civil servants has more than doubled in the last decade, from 408 billion rand to 721 billion rand, an expense the government cannot afford as the country's expenses continue to surpass its revenue. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Ntokozo Khumalo in Johannesburg.